our performance, our success or a failure depends upon the quality of people with whom we work. In other words, our team members are the muscles that we build up. It is our responsibility to recruit, train them and retain them for our continuous, perpetual growth in the organization. For our own personal, selfish purpose, we need to take care of our team members. Of course, when we take care of our team members and we in totality take care of ourselves. Now, the reasons why do we have this kind of a training session? We're retaining people. What do we have? If you ask me, we all know why our members leave us. We know the reason. We say they go for a better salary or they don't like their manager. They leave the manager, not to leave the organization. Or there will be multiple reasons. Having known the reasons, why are we not able to take care of it? The reason is that psychological reason. We all are human beings, psychological beings. We have certain limitations. That's what exactly we are looking at. And two high potential employees in a luxury resort, we are going to look at it. Two employees, promising employees, they are potential, energetic, lot of expectation we have. They start their career at the lowest level. Let's call them Vijay from F&B service. He's not a manager right now. Okay? When he resigns, he is a F&B manager. And the second person is Anita from front office assistant manager. Some people may find familiarity or some connection with somebody who left us. Okay? It is only a coincidence. Jansi, you might immediately be able to connect with somebody. It may be a coincidence. So I have taken these two names, okay? Vijay and Anita. Both of them started, but they left. Anita left at the assistant manager level from one of our 3 premium resorts. Okay. Now, both were in a fast track promoted and highly appreciated, even appreciated by directors when they visit the resort, because they were making visibility in the organization. Their guest interaction was phenomenal. Everybody appreciated. That's why I said they are energetic and promising candidate for a higher levels of responsibility to take care in future. Alright? Losing them is unimaginably painful for any general manager or operation manager. But eventually it happened. Let us see the case. Growth journey of them. I told you they started at the entry level position. Fair enough. Both of them started. One is in front office, another one is F&B service. Promotion based on performance and guest feedback. Always they are on guest feedback. TripAdvisor. Their name will invariably reflect in monthly review. GM used to appreciate them, and everything was going fair and well. And whenever MD visits that particular resort, no, and MD knows him by his name and his background, everything. Why? He takes personal interest in taking care of the MD or the family members who visit there. They are very popular. Their visibility is there in and out in the organization. So that's why they have become very apple of your eye, something like that. Blue-eyed boy, blue-eyed girl, if I could say it. That's a kind of promising people. Okay? And strong emotional connection with the organization was phenomenal. And it's like ownership. And they were the face of the organization. That's the kind of candidate. Okay? And this boy and the girl eventually fell in love, got married. That's a happy event. I can see a smile on Chancy's face. They fell in love. Okay? And both employees got married. what's supposed to be happen? A boy, eligible boy and eligible girl fall in love. What has to happen? They have to get married, and we all were happy. And even management supported with couple accommodation in the resort. Do you get anything, Jancy? You get somewhat, right? Okay. Yeah. Anita went on a maternity leave just before COVID. And then, obviously, she has to extend a leave, and maternity leave is over without pay. She applied for a leave, and leave also got approved. Then, there is a turning point. A new VP joined, and he demanded immediate rejoining, because after the COVID, the resort has to open and he has to make sure that everything should run as usual just before the COVID. So what did he do? VP demanded her immediate joining. By then, she has a little baby boy with her. His husband is a Malayali, and he is fully established and working as a restaurant manager, F&B. And she is from North. Okay, that's the background. And there is a travel restriction, but VP is demanding. Immediately, either you pick it up or drop, kind of a thing, situation. If you want, you come and join, otherwise we are going to look up for somebody else. But this girl and a boy, they put all the effort from the lowest level and grew up in the organization. Everybody was looking up to both of them. And like, Vinappa and Jansi, they would have been the head in the organization, kind of a futuristic, employees. Subsequently, Anita had no option because of the pressure. She, come to an ego level. She said, okay, I'm not going to come. I took the option of quitting the job. She quit. Subsequently, after a couple of months, what would happen to the husband? What would happen to the husband? Wife resigned. What will happen to the husband? Say, yeah. He also resigned. In effect, what had happened? We lost two highly potential employees. This is a case study. If you are able to connect with this particular couple, it's only a coincidence. Okay, let's take it as a case study. Now we are going to analyze it. Before analysis, let's have some understanding of human psychology. That's very important, right? We all are human beings, and we are psychological human beings. So psychology always leads us to do certain things or not to do certain things as well. Now that's what exactly we are going to look at. We are going to learn a new terminology. What is that? Have you heard of domino effect? Domino effect is one action leads to another. Have you seen this? With the cards, we keep it and small push, the entire row of cards falls. Here in this case, a domino effect had happened in the team. So it can be prevented as well if timely intervention is done by the management or the leadership team. It can be prevented. It did not happen. Can you see? The picture is self-explanatory by itself. Alright? One key event triggers a chain of similar events, sequential and direct impact. Another resigned, Vijay too resigned. As a result, the leadership pipeline weakened. There was no intervention because leadership also took it at the emotional level. Okay, now we'll go to the Vijay and in that case, assumed stability. Who management assumed stability, underestimated dual attrition. Okay, they knew it. See, merely knowing something itself will not help us. Because we know many things. We know the causes of attrition. Why people leave us, we know it. Does mere knowledge help us? No. How we connect with this knowledge, put into effect or action, those knowledge we have only make impact in our result. So, underestimated the dual attrition and domino effect happened. What is that? Loss to potential employees. So, have you learned about a new terminology? Domino. One leads to another. And likewise, there is something called ripple effect. What is ripple effect? Ripple effect is more dangerous, very often happens in your team. We'll see. Or one event creates wider indirect impact, like a ripple. Calm pond or our own swimming pool, calm. You put one stone there in the middle of it. The ripple gets created and it moves. It could be a positive ripple, a positive impact or a negative impact. Very often, negative impact or a cause create a negative impact, as a result of which entire team gets affected. I'll give an example. Just take it as an example, okay? It's not true. This resort is being headed, managed by Mr. Vidappa along with Amma. Due to some reason, Vidappa resides. Only an example. Does it make any impact to the team? Obviously, it will make an impact. Negative impact to the entire team. A ripple impact. That's why whenever resignation happens, the management or the team has to be extremely cautious to protect the impact. We have seen it where the caution is taken. Ripples happen. See, like one person goes along with him and that team goes, right? When they came in, also one after another. One team lead goes and that goes. So we need to take corrective step in that area. Now, what is this positive ripples? Positive ripples, the love, care, trust, and holding them together. The compassion, bonding, rapport, empathy, all that can have a positive ripple in the organization. So the leader, so will be his teammates. For example, the leader is empathetic, not an autocratic person, who is a democratic, who is an empathetic with his teammate. What would be the impact on the overall team? Positive, obviously. Right or wrong? Right. So, the responsibility for retaining an employee in a team, not with HR alone or a corporate counselor alone, it lies with every individual in the organization. Because each one of us are human beings, social beings, we are spiritual beings, and we are connected emotionally to each other. We have our career needs, emotional needs, spiritual needs, all that we need to take into consideration. An employment is not a position. An employment is a travel. A person joins at the beginning level and he travels. His life journey. In the process he will get married. He will have children, children's education, and children's career, and children's getting married, and children will have their own children. Then he will become a grandfather, and one day he will retire. is a life journey. If you see in totality, an individual or an employee can take into consideration of his own need, emotional, spiritual, social, career need, then we will be in a position to retain him or her in the organization. Now let's go to the next. Guest experience. Okay. Now, one event creates wider impact, wider indirect impact. In the case of ripples, we have seen domino, it's only one after another in a chain action it is. Right? Now, impact spreads across teams and system. Morale drop in front office and F&B together because two people left. Guest experience and service culture affected. Why service? Yes, sir.
Can ripple and domino effect take place at the same time?
Yes, obviously.
Can you give an example?
Yeah. For example, same example, Vijay and Tim. Vijay is Anita's resignation led to her husband. Both the department get affected, and obviously it happened. And then, see, since Jansi, since both of them are too good, and after a couple of months, the GM of another resort contacted Vijay. Can you join to my resort? And he very politely and nicely refused it. And then GM asked the corporate counselor to speak to Vijay to rejoin. Corporate counselor also spoke. Yeah. And then he said very politely no. And corporate counselor said, okay, fine, Vijay, you are always our employee. Once an employee is always an employee. That's our culture. And whenever you want to join, please come and join. That's what corporate counselor could say, or anybody for that matter could say. That's the only thing. Because once an employee takes a decision on a hard feeling, he feels deceived or betrayed his trust. See, at the most vulnerable time of an employee, then they have their family, child. This is the time the management has to be with the organization. But unfortunately, the VP who took up, he's a new person, took up the operation, and just soon after the COVID, he could not give so much attention to other emotional needs. You understand? Could be. Both could happen. I'm glad that you are connected to what I am talking about. Domino effect and ripples effect. Okay? Now, domino effect versus ripples effect. The key differences, since can happen, the key difference is domino is a direct sequential resignation, it will happen. Ripples, what happened? Indirect, emotional and cultural impact. Why it is cultural impact? I tell you why it is cultural. Because culture of an organization is built up on the foundation of values. Because of this single decision of strictly telling Anita, either you come, what I don't care how, whatever limitation you have because of the COVID restriction for you to travel from Indore to south, yeah. I don't care, you come and join or leave the job. That hurt her ego and the value. People go before profit is the core value that we have. Respect for people is a core value. When value is breached, the organizational culture shook. It had a bad, far-reaching impact on the other teammates. Suppose, whenever I come here, I'm just saying an example. The GM of the resort, ill-treat me or shout at me, scream at me. I'm just saying, I come from corporate. What is the value? What is other? What other members, his own teammates are reading about him or reading about the culture of the organization? Very bad, right? team can flourish and grow in a very toxic culture. The culture has to be very supportive and nutrient rich. What is that nutrient rich? The values, beliefs, the way we treat people. People feel protected, warmed, cared, secure. Because core motivational drives for each individual varies. Some core motivational drive for certain people are safety, security. So sometime back I have taken 8 motivational anchors or a career anchors. I don't know whether you remember that. One of that 8 anchor is safety, security. If safety, security of my job position is shaken, I will not get motivated. And another set of people may be challenging job. There are 8 motivational anchors are there. A good team leader should know what is the motivational anchor of each of his teammates. Then only he can be an effective leader who can retain his team. Know, then you can act. Very often we know it, we take it for granted. Knowledge is taken for granted as good as not having a knowledge about it. Okay? Did I finish? Ripple affects the entire organization. Ripples. Because ripples goes round. You have no idea indirectly who all will get affected. It's more dangerous, ripples. So what went wrong here? Lack of maternity reintegration plan with HR or organization or a policy we cannot have. Okay, suppose somebody finish all the statutory maternity leave already used, and we have a policy. And like in Anita's case, loss of pay leave was approved, but because of the urgency, the decision of VP superseded her approved leave. See, the damage happened to the organization. This session is not to blame anybody. This section is to bring about awareness in what is happening indirectly and what negative impact will happen to the team. That's the objective of this training program. Okay? And then low flexibility during crisis. When a couple, you need to see an employee is a family man. The employment, as I earlier said, is a journey, life journey. If the management or a leader, the boss is not understanding my need, then I will not feel wanted. See, like one of our HR executives, 2 children fell down and fractured, and it's not being able to attend classes and all. CTR, while you're just walking on the way, he said, "Hey, how is your children?" He just casually asked. Maybe it's something like, see, like Neil Armstrong and all, they took a single step on the surface of the moon and then he made a statement. But for humanity, for a man, it's a single step. For humanity, it is a leap. Have you heard about this statement? Any one of you? You heard about it, right? The same way, for Cynthia, he just passed him and, "Hey, how is your children?" He said, "Fine, sir." No, the kind of an impact created in her is huge. I was there, I noticed it. I also went, "Yeah, nice." He connected with his team because HR reports to CTM. He remembered and asked. You understand? So that's how you connect it. And even very simple example. We have a lot of industrial trainees here. And yesterday morning I saw one boy was cleaning with a long stick. He time because it's only 2 months here. I came in morning. He doesn't know who I am. He thought I'm one of the guests. He was cleaning and then something fell on his eyes and he was very uncomfortable with this irritation in his eyes. He was rubbing and trying to get it off. Okay. Then I went up to him, what's your name? He said, my name is so-and-so. Then I asked him, are you okay? Then we had a conversation. By the time he got out of his discomfort. And then I said, my name is this, Jose. I am from corporate office. Oh sir, I didn't know about it first time. Then he told me that my father's name also is Jose. The connection had happened. Somewhere in the line, that emotional connection happened. Maybe, I don't know, he saw me as, I didn't do anything to him. But I went there and acknowledged he's in discomfort. And that is what is enough. So that if it happened day to day basis, you can reprimand it. Doesn't mean that you will not reprimand your people. You have to discipline them, stricten them, everything will happen. See, when you punish somebody, you have to embrace the person with one hand and then reprimand. It has to be equal. Then only the person feels wanted. A reprimanding happens, the individual should not feel that, okay, he's attacking me. No. The attack is the correction of the behavior. Any reprimanding does not result in the behavioral modification, then it will not bring the desired result out of your intervention in reprimanding or bringing about a change the way you desire. This all matters your mindset, your involvement, your connection with the other fellow human being. Always keep it in mind. It's he or she is in her life journey. His employment with Evolve Back Hamdi. He is in a life journey with us. Anything in coming in the way of his journey, he will start thinking about leaving you and your team and Evolve Back Hamdi. So, it's the case of anywhere for that matter. Always, see, like their needs are as important as my needs, whether it is emotional, career, family, social, spiritual, whatever it may be. They are not different from me. Just because I have a title or I have a bigger salary packet or greater responsibility in the organization doesn't matter. At the end, we all are human beings. Our emotional needs are same. When we have deep down conviction of this truth in our heart, then half of the problems are solved. If one particular employee genuinely wants to leave the organization for a better career, we are not against it. But we also think about providing that career ladder as well. Let's see as we go. Psychological factors, psychological contract breach. See, in Anita's case, a breach had happened. I already said it. Reduced perceived organizational support. She felt dejected, rejected. What the hell, yeah? You don't understand me. I'm not asking sky. I'm just asking an extension of my leave. I have a baby. I have a COVID restrictions for traveling from indoor to south. Can we understand that? What we ended up with, losing two high-flying, potentially professional candidates. And then the managerial level, assistant manager, front office, and restaurant manager. Just because of one wrong decision. There is no point in denying the fact. Then life stage sensitivity ignored. I told you it's a life journey. Every journey has got a milestone, different stages. You need to be sensitive to it. I give you the examples here. Different stages, youngsters getting married, they will be on the way of having a family. Be sensitive to it. And be part to their joys and sorrows. You can connect with them. And cater to their need, emotional, spiritual, social, family. Then gradually they start feeling you as one of the family member. If you are senior operation manager, we see you as a bada bhai or father figure, bada bhaiya figure. Unfortunately, they may not call you, but somewhere down the line, the corner of their heart, they place you with that position. Emotional engagement, disengagement had happened in Anita's case. Management reflection questions. We need to ask this question. Was there a structured return work dialogue? Or somebody would have, or HR or HOD would have been in connection with and answered, what are your plans? How is the COVID? How is your son? When are you planning to come? At least somebody to know her concerns, day-to-day concern as a newly wedded mother. She had a baby. It would have made a big impact. And was the role security clearly communicated? And did leadership assess emotional risk? Was flexibility explored? How could attrition be prevented? Phase rejoining plan. We would have made it. Why it was so desperate? The operation was so desperate for Anita to come and join. And at least the operation would have gauged or evaluated or appraised the criticality of that potential employee. Every role, every function has got certain criticality. That's why we have KRA, key result areas, KPA, key performance indicator. See, in a building, some pillars and beams are load-bearing pillar and load-bearing beams, but some are potentially load-bearing. So you need to recognize and promote and retain and allow that pillar to grow along with the organization. If that is not happening, that pillar will decide, okay, I am not in the right place. Let me look for a better building. And better building will go and grab and reinstate that pillar. See, when I am saying pillar, you know what I am talking about. Leadership empathy training. All the team leaders, HODs should be given training on empathy. See, we all are caught up in the rat race. Rat and cat, Mickey Mouse race, Target meeting, guest TripAdvisor rating, all that. But empathy. What is empathy? Anybody can tell me what is empathy? Sorry? Feelings. I feel the way you feel. Empathy is, so your shoe is pinching you tight and you, fingers are, undergoing some pain, discomfort. When you tell me, I also feel the same. Because you are telling me. That's empathy. Empathy and sympathy are not the same. Two different things. Empathizing with someone is the best way of building rapport. So all leadership role, the people who are holding leadership role should have that quality of empathy with them. Then you can win over their heart. When you win over somebody's heart, then only you will be able to influence them. The way and how you influence the other person determine your success. I'm talking about positive influence, okay? Not the negative influence. The negative influence happens in domino and the ripple effect. Okay. And dual career strategy. Identify married employees and their pair in the organization. And you can take one emotional need inventory in your team. Do you know who are your teammates? What is happening with their family? Like I was telling you, Sitya knows what is happening with his teammates' family. Family is going through a trauma. 2 of their children had a fracture. Do you understand what I'm saying? Do you have that kind of emotional inventory of your teammates? Where is the storeman? You have the inventory of your store, right? You have inventory of the emotional need of your teammates. Good. The storeman will know what is inventory. HR has to know the emotional inventory of all the HODs. GM has to know every employees and all the key positions, emotional inventory. That's a need, man. It's a need. Family support mechanism, career path, community assurance, immediate retention talk if one resigns. Why? To prevent ripples and domino effect. See, like that's why we have attrition interview. I don't know how effectively we are using attrition interview. I do not know. I believe that we are using it. But whenever I come to know somebody is, but HR doesn't tell the corporate counselor. But corporate counselor somehow come to know it. I do that intervention. It's not a blaming game. I'm just bringing it to your awareness level. Okay. Now, these leadership lessons for hospitality. Employees are having life journeys, no positions. Mr. Amma is having his life journey with the world. Flexibility increases loyalty. And if you are rigid and it has to be this way because I said it is the way, or it is written this way, I mean, you need to be flexible. And in that case, you need to be flexible. Retention is cheaper than replacement. We all know it. It's not a new news I am telling you. But we are not able to do that. And we fail to do that. That's the point. Then culture must survive leadership changes. The culture is more important than the leadership. I tell you, culture is soil. If soil is nutrient, any plant can grow. Organizational culture is conducive for any person to flourish and grow. Doesn't matter. Culture is nothing but right set of values, beliefs, practices, policies, the relationship. All those are the components of culture. One of the beliefs, one of the philosophy that we have, we value people before profit. So in our action, do we do it? Each and every one of us, sitting on a chair, has to imbibe that core value. People before profit. I respect people. I am interested in the growth of my teammates. that's my investment in him or her. Culture must survive, leadership changes. We become and go. Veerappa is here, tomorrow he will be there, elsewhere, or I'm here, or whoever. We will come, go, because we are on a life journey. But culture survives. Now let's have a group discussion activity. What would you do differently as VP? I mean, please, it's only a case study, eh? Okay? A situation where, what do you would have done, Anida's and Vijay's case? Sir, you tell, you are the captain of the ship. You know the context,
Yeah. As I said, first we could have understood and
Yes.
shown some empathy
Yes.
for what it is, and then made a plan B. First of all, if you know that what is the integral part of, she's the integral part of the team, and then knowing that there's really a concern that request has to be looked into. We have to think in this way now. Anyway, she is not there for 2.5 months.
Yes.
We have handled whatever situation crisis, she is not there.
Yes.
To handle the 2.5 months without her is not a big deal to handle another 15 days.
Absolutely.
So we should come up with some plans and ask other team members to take a little more responsibilities
Right.
on behalf of something like that, and then consider if it is really a genuine. So that we should try to get to know if really genuinely the case is true, and then she cannot come in, and then accordingly we have to live with the situation what we have and make a plan B for that particular situation.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah. Yes, Aman, any input? Anyway, yeah, you all should.
I think as a VP there are a few in principle and structured things which were supposed to be, which would have been done. Again, not coming to what the action was taken. First of all, was there an over-reliance on one of the employees? As a VP, the initial step would have been to stop that over-reliance on one employee, which led to a decision so extreme.
Yeah.
Creating a system where
Ultimatum given.
creating a system where is nobody is indispensable. The
Absolutely.
reason why the pressure on one employee was put in because that employee was considered to be indispensable.
Yes.
Everyone in an organization should be dispensable and there should be a backup plan for each employee,
Right.
one employee. Second, I would have involved people, the leadership team from those resorts, the HR teams from that resorts, to figure this case out instead of involving myself into taking a step so harsh for one employee. Because the kind of sensitivity of people working with that employee would be larger than me sitting in the corporate office and then taking a decision.
Right.
I should have relied on the decision taken by the people who have worked with her.
Absolutely.
Because they would have been more sensitive towards taking a decision like this.
Absolutely.
Third, in any case, if as a VP I had to take a decision like this, I would have done the same thing.
And the resort people were in a poor situation where they have to overrule VP, which is very awkward. I mean, not practical.
Because the opportunity to take a decision was not given to them.
Absolutely, absolutely.
They should have been the one taking a decision.
So-
Had it extreme level come to me to take a decision, I would have done it.
Suppose we as leaders had seen every employment is a life journey. That mindset I'm looking for. Do you think this problem would have happened? And an empathetic approach towards, it's a life journey. Hey, youngsters get married and having baby, and their excitement, their challenges, and their commitment with the organization, their career, all that discounted. That's very unfair, no? Correct? What an adverse impact on the organizational culture. Other people are reading ripples. The team, no? Both of them are having team. What bullshit organization is this? Our team may be thinking, no? What is unimaginable? is suicidal. We just neglected the ripples effect and domino effect. But the matter is very simple. Wife resigns, husband also will resign. And with a hard feeling, somebody will resign. Simple. Yes, sir. And design 3 months resignation plan. Okay. Reintegration plan, sorry. And create a maternity retention checklist. See, like, when we have so many people, youngsters, pregnant, and if HR asks for some action plan or a policy in place or a empathetic policy, so the people, that's become part of the organizational culture. How to prevent linked attrition. This is a linked attrition, dominion attrition. That's easy, because easily we need to be little proactive. We took things for granted. That's what happened. We were affected by these biases, psychological bias, normalcy bias. I'm telling you, this is organizational behavior. The MBA students learn in the MBA course under the subject of organizational behavior, the psychology. Normalcy bias, all of us have. What is normalcy bias? Underestimating risk because things were always stable. We just took it for granted. Oh, it's a normal. People leave. People apply for leave. Maternity leave, Western. No, this ऐसा होता है. इसमें क्या है? A normalcy bias it is. You understand? And we know about the risk, but delay action is a big regret. Then complacency effect. Also is a kind of a bias. It's under control. Nothing will happen. Oh, what will happen? If she leaves, I will get another person to replace her. That's what? It's stupidity. It's called complacency effect. Then optimism bias. Other hotel may lose staff, not us. Okay, I am optimistic. Nothing will happen to me. We are strong. We are branded. Nobody will leave. Even if she leaves, she will come back to me. I mean, what is this? Optimism bias. Then familiarity bias. Complaints become normal background noise. Oh, this happens here. Always. What's a big deal? Every girl who go for a maternity leave will ask, what's the big deal? It's a normal thing. Familiarity. Then psychological inertia. Knowing action is needed, but resisting change. It's very right. It's psychological inertia. We have it and we are subject to it. We all HODs are subject to it. That's why we are not able to control attrition or understand attrition from a psychological point of view. We think, the horrible thing is that we think we know why people leave. And I am telling you, we don't know why people are leaving. Do you agree with me? Some response. Do you agree with me? Yes or no? We really don't know why people are leaving. But we think we know it. Then Vijay and Ida case. Assume stability, underestimate dual attrition and domino effect. And then badly enough ripple effect in two different departments. Do you see the adversity and severity of the impact created by these two resignations or attrition? So it was huge. Because the organization is huge, it kept camouflaged. But the tint made on the organizational culture was huge. I could see that. That's why we have the adversity to go back to Vijay and say, oh, would you like to join in our other resort? He very politely said, thank you so much, sir, but I'm right now not interested. Subsequently, I also contacted him. Very politely, he also told me, "I'm not interested." How do you like that? Are you with me? Do you see any sense in it? Key takeaway. What are the key takeaway? So you need to give me feedback about my training also. It's not a training, it's a discussion session, which I will be doing it with other HODs in other departments, corporate officer. The area where you think I need to improve, change my style of communicating. Do you see any sense in it? Are you able to connect with it?
Yes.
Do you see any familiarity to this kind of thing happened in our resort? Yes, sir? Yes? That means you know whom I am talking about, right? Kind of. Doesn't matter. See, here our objective is not to find fault. The objective is to learn from our mistake. We learn from our mistake so that we will not repeat the mistake. We thank God for the mistakes that we make. So that's the way God teaches us. We have the humility to learn from our own mistake. Part 2, I will take, it is about 46 slides. Part 2 will go on because 1 hour I have already taken. Part 2 next time I will take it. So just quickly give me a feedback to my training. Of course, you have your statutory or procedural feedback. I will very humbly and thankfully take your feedback. Is my accent is okay?
Yes.
Malayali accent, okay? You can understand?
Yes.
The usage of language is a very too tough because I shouldn't be asking your HODs. So, or when I take it with other people down the line, should I amend myself in any area?
No, I think the energy, the selection of the words, everything was fine. I just have, if the permission, one small
Please.
suggestion. If
Thankfully, I will answer.
we can, if we can avoid words like idiot or bullshit, reasoning that there are always two sides of the coin. There would be people who are empathetic towards the other side, and they might feel offended.
Lovely.
So that's the only.
Very, very valid point. Gratefully, I accept that.
Thank you.
Next time I will not. Thank you for saying it. Honestly, I thank you. And normally I don't use it, but I was a little emotional about it. What? I was emotionally charged with it. That shouldn't have happened. I mean, I'm sorry.
No, rest
because
assured,
my audience are
constructive feedback.
absolutely. And next time I will not. I will not. And that's not expected of me as well. Good. Thank you.
But we love the body language and we love the energy, we love
Thank you.
the broad spectrum of thoughts. I think a lot of time in our daily work, we feel this is just so generic, the bias of normalcy. This breaks that bias for us also.
Yeah. Yes.
That everything is fine.
We all are subject to it. These biases, we are all subject to it. Yes, anybody? GM sir?
The thing is that now we have taken a case study of an Anita. That is fine, but if there is a case, based on a case study, the attrition we can reduce and think of the topic what we come up with. Yes. It's giving us a ripple effect and a domino effect which is connected with that.
Yes.
How it could affect. That's fine. That's one of the case study we're talking. I would like to also come up with a future thing is that whether the new trend, new generation of ACs and what is the option they're looking at, what is their mindset, how the HODs has to tackle. Because when I started, for example, when you started the career and when we started the career, part of the job was necessary.
Yes.
And now the youngsters who are coming in, for them, the job is there or not there, the way we have to handle that.
Yeah, right.
In that line, of course, I'm not denying that this is also very essential
Again.
to think our thought process. but in that line, that is very much important now to tackle how. There are still in the thing that making why can't I give? So I have come up in my career with that. So now why can't I make my team also to suffer like that? That thinking process of our heads, I'm telling it's there with them.
Right.
That has to come in change, and then going forward, that line something also we can plan in a
Right.
part 2 or part 3. That would be nice. I don't know whether it is there.
It is there in the part 2.
Might be, it should be, I don't know, but
Part 2 it is there. Like the extensive list of reasons why people leave and the process of different theories, the career anchor, all the simple ways to how to appreciate people,
yeah, that's
overcome. All that is there, but it will take, actually it's a half-day program. You know, I mean, when I say there is a training, people say, oh my God, half an hour itself to get your time is a big challenge for me.
Well, we look forward to having you in the lean months,
Lean months,
post March, and we would be very happy to program.
I have started.
And yes, and we would be very happy. All of the leadership team would be very happy to dedicate our half day for this program because it's
Oh,
very
wonderful.
nice.
If you give a half day, what we do, we will have a team work also. I'll have exercise.
That's right.
I also will take part. It's not that I am taking a session. We all are going through it. I only facilitate. And then I will learn a lot from you.
We'll also benefit.
Yeah.
Having
So that's a great idea. Whenever you say the model is ready, and I am really flattered, so you value it. What else I can expect more than this? Anything was it? Any feedback?
The energy of your experience, you will see there is a very level. The idea of what you've given us, it is making us to remain in the importance of for the DPS taking a decision, it should not be taken in that part. The unit must take a decision in that place. There should not be involved in that. That is one case. Should give because after COVID it is not so busy, so we should let the lady to extend the leave and other people can take the leave, so we can remain for a point.
Should not supersede across management line. Yes, any feedback? Jansi, yeah, I'm sure that you will have a lot to say.
The energy levels.
Yeah, it's okay about my energy. And Anish?
First time I'm attending a conversation.
First time you are attending. All my previous motivation and all that you are not attending. See, he escaped. That's not good.
lucky attended this also.
Optimistic way of seeing him.
I've learned it hard time. I'm very optimistic.
I also hardly see you in my session.
Yeah. So you should be lucky for that also.
For my ego satisfaction. Yes, Vijay?
That's fine, sir.
Right.
The only thing is, game already asked the generation gap. That's why I'm doing the new generation people. How, if I will my home, game sometimes came for sometimes everywhere, and I will be. I have management team is calling. In that respect, we will answer. But the new generation people, how they did not answer anything.
So
We
you
have
know-
WhatsApp them also, they didn't answer.
They switch it off.
Yeah, this is
Not reachable.
they don't have any responsibility.
Yeah, right. So, chef? Okay, then we can find out. Thank you so much for your time. Okay.
Thank you very much.
I'm looking forward to